Yo, what is up guys, I'm here hitting you up with a new CZN video. Now I'm back live in color and ready for new and upcoming CZN content. Quick thing in eigener Sache guys, usually I don't cover news and patch notes in general. If you want to see me covering more of these news in the future and patch notes and what I think about them and everything about it going on, make sure to like this video. If we can get like 100 likes on this video, I will continue talking about upcoming changes for the game. Okay, let's jump right into it, and I want to make it concise. I don't want to make it like too long guys, because I don't want to bore you. So let's just talk about, I think, the most important thing. So first and foremost, we're getting the new event, right? The new story, that's the Forbidden Catalyst that is coming, patch tomorrow, and it's now in 3 parts or 3 acts. Okay, the first part is coming tomorrow, the second part is coming on the 3rd of December, and the last part starts with Christmas Eve. And then we are getting the new chaos, which is called the Laboratory Zeros added, and you can now obtain exclusive save data by playing the roguelike mode. And we have seen that now, and also in today's showcase with the other content creators right now. So the higher tier you go, there is like no tiers level to the save data. We also have to take a look at, once we are finishing our runs, how it saves, and if it is a little bit more clear on how stuff is saved. I hope they make it a little bit clearer, because that is quite a nuisance when you're trying to get a good deck. But at the end of the day, the laboratory is where you want to go to the highest level potentially, right? And this is where you want to farm your viable decks, and there's unlock conditions and stuff like that. And also they, after this event ends, they want to make the Laboratory Zero a permanent event, or permanent game mode, or however you want to call it, which is integrated into the Chaos Manifestation and the Zero system as well. Then we are getting the Nebula Distortion. Powerful monster you once faced in Chaos will return from the power of Distortion. Defeat the monster that have grown even stronger due to the distortion. So this is where you can challenge bosses, if I am getting this correctly. And also, if I'm not wrong about it, whatever is on the right here, this is basically where you choose your debuffs, I would say so. Those are debuffs you're choosing, but by choosing the debuffs, you're getting more rewards, like here, more gems, more white dust and stuff like that, to buy out the shop. Then we're getting the Great Rift. The source of disaster emerged from the massive rift that has opened near Laboratory Zero. Build your own deck and challenge the Great Rift for the highest score. Not sure if that actually plays into the role, into the Nebula Distortion, or if it's a separate thing. Gotta wait and see for that, to be honest. I'm not 100% sure, but since it's mentioned as a point for itself, I think it's a separate thing, and they just want to surprise us, is what I think. But the cool thing is that we're finally also getting some modes and playstyles where we actually want to bring our own decks, right? Because at the end of the day, currently we're playing the Zero system, which is more or less the end game of the game right now, and where you're farming the decks, but you don't really have a game mode right now, unless you want to talk about the weekly boss, because the weekly bosses level 10 are actually quite difficult and hard to beat. Where we actually want to use or get like that perfect deck going, and then want to actually go into certain modes, because this is what was a little bit lackluster of this game. Also with the deck crafting as well, but I don't think it's 100% fixed after this patch, but I hope that very soon we can actually craft very OP decks, which will help us beat content, and especially that we're getting tough content where we use our handcrafted decks and show what we cooked up, right? And the Great Rift actually has 2 parts. So the first one starts on the 3rd of December, so it doesn't open up right off the get-go, so we have to wait. It feels like almost a patch, right? This actually takes a whole lot of time till this opens, by the way, and the second half opens on Christmas Eve. Now we got the supply store operation. This is where we get, like, you spend all pure white fragments, like, let's say the event currency basically, and there you can get a lot of stuff. You're getting stamina. You can buy pulls, summons, right, and other goodies. You basically want to max out the shop, right? You want to farm and max out the shop. Nothing really too crazy. Then we're getting more goodies right here, right now, right? We're getting pulls, we're getting gems, we're getting more lenses to get our holo cards, right? Basically here, a lot of free goodies at the end of the day. And then here, the new event, the laboratory, under the way as well. So the higher you clear and explore this one, the more of the pure white fragment you get basically to clear out the event shop. Then we're getting the new character Yuki. I will pull for her because I'm a content creator and I'm pulling probably every single unit because I have to make videos on these characters as well, so I can showcase them to you and tell you if they're good or not, how good they are, and if you should pull or not, right? And what team you want to combine them to. Okay, so there are a lot of stats and there were a lot of stuff mentioned. So from what I grasped was her E2 is pretty damn strong, and from almost most of the units in the game, E2 is actually the game changer, but they make that on purpose, to be honest. But yeah, with her E2, basically her inspiration cards are always active for the next 2 turns, which is very huge if you think about it. And then the exclusive card, which boosts her damage overall, which will also be used, of course, with her to get a pre-farm for her as well. And also improved the achievement log improvements to support the early growth for all products. The rewards from achievement log obtained reaching certain levels will be improved to level effect by this change. This is a good change. We're getting basically more freebies, more materials to level up our characters. I'm not sure if they are 100% mentioned that they improve how fast we can actually farm the materials to level up our characters and stuff like that. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe in the bottom I will see it, but for now, while I like this one, you have to keep in mind that it's like only a one-time thing, right? It's a one-time thing which helps out, but at some point, like very soon, we're already out of these mats again, and then we're basically at square one, right? So how do we find a solution for that? Then they improved the Basin reward. Sorry for that one. They're improving the Basin reward, basically adding just universal tactical certificates to whatever you're doing here, which is not too bad, I would say. Also, they're switching it up here. You get potential disc, then you get trace of memory. So they're switching it up. And then here you're getting a little bit of money. Nothing too crazy, to be honest, but you know what? We take what we can, right? I think I would have liked to see a little bit more crystals. 100 is a little bit lower. 150 would be at least better, or 200 even. Because at the end of the day, that's the only thing that resets and where people can viably get their crystals, right? Also to collect pulls, because 1k per month is a little bit low. I mean, yes, with events and stuff, we also get gems, but you know what, you can be a little bit more generous, especially with a 50-50 system and then having a weapon ban and stuff like that, you know. So that would be cool. Then they added more stuff, new items, travel, and zero new shop. Wow, yeah, there's that shop because that's kind of like lackluster. So you can now buy also cake, chocolate, ritoshka. So basically you can get, what is it? Upgrade, like affinity upgrade materials from there as well, which is kind of nice because what you want to do outside of, like, there are only like 2 things you want to buy from these shops. Outside of that, there's nothing like too crazy about it. And yeah, then they added some new missions, save data, information improvement. So this is where it's all about, and very important as well. An in-game help section explaining the save data storage rules has been added. So this is what we have to check out, what they're also saying about this one. A guide on save data value has been added to the Chaos Infiltration Team Formation UI. The details of obtained save data now display the value of faded memories as points, and this follows the notation of the save rules introduced in the help section and allows you to check the total value of faded memory stores within. Well, it's a little bit weirdly formulated in my opinion, but at the end of the day, we just wait for tomorrow basically when it comes out, and if it changed, and now if it's actually clear to us on how this now actually works, so we know, okay, we should not overcap right now. I should not pick up this neutral card, because if I pick up this neutral card, one of my base cards is coming back, or one of my divine epiphanies is gonna get ripped, something like that, right? Then they're adding new packs. Well, with that new pack, the only significant pack is this one here. So you're getting 3,000 gems and 25 radar pulls for 50. So for 100 you get 50 pulls, and you're getting 6k gems. Not the cheapest thing, but it's still the best value. The rest one doesn't really matter. So if you want to spend, this is where you want to spend it on. That's basically what, 45 euro something. So 90 euro for 50 pulls and 6k gems. I mean, it's okay. Then there was a lot of UI improvements and stuff like that. Basic save data can no longer be favorited. When combat affinity rewards are available, the red dot will now only appear on the affinity bonus icon, which is good because it's kind of annoying. Then 3 new fates with combat functions have been added. There's a lot of stuff, and it's like a little bit of description fixing, right? Because it's a little bit weird. For example, Rin has Dark Mist Blade Art and Dark Mist Stance. They now fix it to one wording, so it's not as annoying to deal with. Now this is actually a big thing here. Activation count of Epiphany is proportional to the depth of chaos and is cumulated even outside of battle areas. So what it means is that when you're trying to get epiphanies, or basically what does even epiphany mean? Sometimes unlocking your cards, right? That's also a thing. So what the text says basically is, before this update, you actually have to battle to accumulate the chance of triggering epiphanies in combat to, you know, to get your cards and stuff like that. Or like with the event, sometimes you get certain epiphanies, right? Sometimes it just depends on the event you're getting, right? But basically the battles is what can trigger your epiphanies, right? So the more battles you do, the higher the count goes, the higher you actually get all your epiphanies. And the way it works, you have to go actually into battle. Now, with this change now is you don't necessarily have to go into battle, because we also like our question marks. But that basically tells me it doubles the speed on how fast you're actually getting your cards, which then you can rip or get divine epiphanies on and stuff like that, right? So this is actually a huge one. This is actually a very, very huge one, because it speeds up the process of getting your actual important cards and then epiphanying those cards, right? Or even if you have the cards, then actually getting epiphany for those cards. So that's a very huge change, and I think no one really talked about it. But so that is actually big. And then the message displayed when converting a selected on card to a common card and an honor has been improved. Before no commandants meet the class requirements, select a card of commandant that meets the class requirements, stuff like that. So there were a lot of changes, really. Then there was like some certain weird changes they fixed, but there's also a lot of wordings and animation fixes. There was nothing too crazy, like it's small things they changed, but nothing really that outstanding. Then one of the bigger things was obviously, but everybody's seen on already, now they actually added numerals to the memory fragment icon. So when you watch my videos, when I give my recommendations out, I never call these things by name. I always told you like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that's exactly what they did, right? They exactly did what I said. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They didn't call it any other way, make it weird or something. This is how it goes. Then, as I said, there's a lot of small changes, but nothing really worthy of talking about, right? It's nice to have, but it's like nothing too crazy. I think the only other one which is big is this one here. Cards with the finales will now be used last during auto battle. As we know, the auto battle in this game sucks hard. The auto battle is insanely stupid. Best example is if you have Mei Yin on auto and she has 2 unity cards in hand. She activates a unity, gets 2 strike cards. Now usually what do? You use your 2 strike cards for 0 cost, and then you cast the second unity, so you can use the strike cards again, right? On auto, she just keeps casting the unity and then uses the strike cards last. Makes absolutely no sense. You're wasting all your resources. The AI is extremely dumb, and that is the first change in the game that improves the AI. But that is something that I'm missing here quite a bit in these patch notes, because that is nothing that is really mentioned at all. And I think this needs to be also looked at, improving the autoplay of the game, because it's quite lackluster. Then obviously one of the bigger changes, before I forget about it, to mention the difficulty of the battles featuring Gloomy Pride and Gloomy Beast has been reduced. So this is one of the annoying bosses, the Stalk Summoner or whatever everybody calls him, is very difficult for some people. They now make it easier to fight that. I mean, good. I didn't have that problem because I didn't farm that world that much. I'm always at the blue world, the last world, and that's about it. And then they did a huge amount of bug fixing, like an incredibly huge amount of bug fixing. The only thing that is quite interesting in terms of the bug fixes, I think, even though everything is kind of like whatever, to be honest, is, for example, the one for Veronica here. An issue where commandant Veronica card Sir Kowalski retained its damage increase effect permanently when not triggered will be fixed. This is like a slight nerf, it sounds to it. So there was something abnormally going on when we cast Sir Kowalski and get like your extra ballista or something, right? Because it creates extra ballistas. And what she was able to do damage. Now with this fix, you will be dealing less damage with Veronica. Now the last two things that are notable to mention when it comes to the bug fixes, in my opinion, let me know what you're looking forward to with this patch coming tomorrow, is this one here. An issue where Cassius shuffle cards behavior differed from its description. Well, right, because he's shuffling the entire deck, like basically everything, like every single card, and puts him back to the deck. I wonder if that actually, this change here makes Cassius shuffle a card even stronger, because right now when you use a card, your used cards will not actually go into the discard pile. They go into like a separate used pile, and when you shuffle the deck, those used cards will not go back into the deck. Now I'm just curious if that change here will make it so that Cassius shuffle now shuffles also back these used cards so you can use them again. That would be an interesting thing. And then also another big thing is an issue where Renoa's instant judgment, which is her potentially her upgrade card or attack card, depending on what kind of epiphany you took, card did not increase damage even when instant judgment effect was stacked, will be fixed. So this was actually, there was damage missing for Renoa, so this will be fixed. So her damage will actually be higher now with the instant judgment, so this will also be interesting to look at. And yeah, this is to summarize everything this patch has to offer. This video is already long enough, to be honest. So let me know your thoughts about it, what you're looking forward to. Obviously, I will do my summon session tomorrow. I will also make a summon session video, I guess. Let's see how that goes and how lucky I get or unlucky I get with my pulls tomorrow. And yeah, obviously, I will be live tomorrow on Twitch and YouTube. Come check me out there on my socials. We can hang out together, try Yuki. I will extensively test Yuki tomorrow with the new content and stuff like that. I think we will have a great time. So as always, guys, if you enjoyed watching this video, don't forget to leave a like and a comment down below. I really appreciate it, and see you with the next one. Deuces.